Yes, students, in this video, we will discuss May 2026 Indirect Tax RTP as released by ICAI. So, we will just focus on section B, which is Goods and Service Tax in this video, guys. Yes, sir. So, we'll straight away start with the questions. First question is case scenario MCQ, guys. So, before we read the case, we'll first go and read the requirements. Then we will come and read the case. Yes, sir. What are the requirements? So totally there are 5 MCQs asked for this case. First we will see that which of the following statement is correct. Okay, so please be careful because sometimes they may ask what is incorrect, guys. Yes, regarding taxability of consolidated fee charged from the students as per the relevant provisions of the GST law. Okay, they are asking with respect to taxability of consolidated fee. What is this? We will understand after reading the case. We will see it. Whether GST is payable on receipt of 2,50,000 received from corporate clients. Okay. So they have received some 2,50,000. They're asking whether GST is payable on that or not. Okay. Next, third one. In case of diesel purchased by Apex Learning Hub, e-way bill is, guys, whenever there is a movement of goods, if the consignment value is more than 50,000, we need to generate e-way bill. But for diesel, petrol, which are non-taxable supply, that is, they're outside GST. So should we generate e-way bill? No. So we already know the answer that we are not supposed to generate e-way bill, but still we will read the case and then decide the answer, guys. Okay. And when you're reading the requirements, please don't read the options, just read the requirements. That's all. So that when you're reading the case, you already know what are you supposed to answer. Fourth one, whether Apex Learning Hub was required to obtain separate GST registration for the additional place of business in another state. Guys, under GST, we know that registration is state-wise. So if they have any branch or additional place of business in another state, should they take separate registration? Of course, sir. Of course. Yes. Fifth one, what is the last date to avail input tax credit pertaining to the current financial year? Guys, as per section 16, okay, last date to avail credit they're asking. So we know that as per section 16 subsection 4, the deadline to claim input tax credit or the deadline to avail input tax credit is 30th November of next financial year or actual date of filing annual return, whichever is earlier. So for last three questions, we almost know the answer even before reading the case, guys. But please don't mark the answers. First read the case and then decide, people. Yes, sir. Fine. Coming to the case. Apex Learning Hub is a registered person under the goods and service tax law and is engaged. Okay, they are registered. That is also important. And is engaged in providing coaching services. The aggregate turnover during the previous financial year was more than 5 crore. Okay, sir. During the course of internal review and compliance verification, the following facts were noted. Guys, please be careful before we proceed further. First of all, sir, is Apex Learning Hub an educational institution as per GST? No. Because any services provided by an educational institution to students, staff, and faculty is exempt. Correct? And with respect to their inward supply, also they enjoy some exemptions. But here, private coaching is not a part of educational institution, guys. They are clearly told that under the GST law. So this falls under what? Private coaching or tutoring. So is it an educational institution for GST purpose? No, people. Okay, sir. Fine. So during the course of internal review and compliance verification, the following facts were noted. First one, Apex Learning Hub provides coaching services for competitive examination. Okay. They are neither the school nor the college or university. So they will not fall under the educational institution, people. And charges the consolidated fee from the students. Okay. They might be charging single fees for various goods or services. Okay. The fee structure includes tuition fee, study materials, okay, study material charges, and access to recorded online lectures, which are not shown separately on the invoice. Means single price is charged for all these three, guys. Okay, tuition fees for coaching, study material, and access to recorded online lectures. Oh, study material and recorded online lectures are otherwise not available. Means, sir, without tuition, can I go only purchase study material and the recorded classes? No. They give this along with what, guys? The coaching, for which they are charging tuition fee. So that means they are giving it as a package. You cannot buy, or a student cannot buy only this as well as this. Hope you guys are getting it. So all these three are given as a single package, guys. So can we consider it as composite supply or mixed supply? Sir, is it naturally bundled? Yes, guys. It is naturally bundled, so we can consider it as the composite supply. And in this case, sir, what is the principal supply? It is clearly known that the coaching for which they are charging tuition fee, that is the principal supply, guys. So whatever GST rate is applicable for the coaching service will be applicable for the entire consolidated fees, people. They're charging consolidated fees, right? Which is nothing but the single price for various goods or services. So on that, whatever rate applicable for principal supply as per section 8, whatever is the rate applicable for principal supply will be applicable for the entire consolidated fees. Yes. And here, sir, what is the principal supply? Tuition fee, which is charged for coaching, guys. Hope you got it. Yes, sir. As this two cannot be availed separately, we are considering that it is naturally bundled, guys. Got it? Yes. So it is a composite supply. Next, during the financial year, Apex Learning Hub received an advance of 2,50,000 from corporate clients for conducting customized training. Okay, training means services programs against which services were rendered in the subsequent financial year. That is next financial year. Guys, for a services for which advance is received, what is the time of supply? Guys, as per section 13, and assuming this is taxable under forward charge mechanism, if invoice is issued within the due date, the time of supply will be date of payment or the date of issue of invoice. Or if invoice is issued after the due date, then the date of payment or the date of provision of service. So here, as advance is received, obviously that will be the earliest date. Yes, sir. So is advance received for the services to be supplied in the next financial year taxable now? Yes. The time of supply will be the date on which the advance is received, guys. So is it taxable? Yes. One of the multiple choice question was on this. So is GST payable on 2,50,000 advance? Yes, people. Next, fourth point. Apex Learning purchased diesel for an amount of 50,000 for running the emergency power backup facility at its center. The supplier was located at a distance of 20 kilometers from the location of center. Guys, see, here also they have tried to confuse you. Because see, if the distance is up to 50 kilometers within the state, and if it is from the supplier's place to the transporter place, that is consignor to transporter, or from the transporter place to consignee, then there is no need to update part B details. But here, the e-way bill itself is not required. E-way bill details itself is not required. Why, sir? Because it is a diesel, guys. Clear. And consignment value also will not matter here. Whether it is less than 50,000, more than 50,000, it is irrelevant. Okay. Fifth one. Apex Learning Hub opened an additional place of business in another state. Okay. Another state. Under GST, registration is state-wise, people. During the year, the classroom coaching services were being provided from such place. However, the invoice were issued from the original GST registration without obtaining separate registration. That doesn't matter. Are they supposed to take a separate registration for additional place of business in another state? Yes, they have to take it. For following the invoice or to issue invoice, let them follow whatever they want. But should they take separate registration? Yes, one of the requirement. The annual return was filed on 15th December of the following financial year. On the basis, okay, actually this information has to come in next line. Here there should be a full stop. On the basis of the facts given above, you are required to choose the most appropriate answer to the questions 1 to 5. Okay, guys, this is helpful to decide what is the maximum deadline to avail the input tax credit as per section 16 subsection 4. Yes, sir. Fine. So we'll quickly mark the answers now. Which of the following statement is correct regarding taxability of consolidated fee charged from the students as per the relevant provisions of the GST law? So it is a composite supply. So which is a principal supply there, guys? Whichever is having predominant element, and that is nothing but the coaching. Coaching. Yes. So let me read the options. The supply qualifies as a composite supply and the entire consideration shall be taxed at the rate applicable to coaching services. Yes, this looks like correct answer. But let us read the remaining options also. The supply qualifies as a mixed supply? No. And the highest rate applicable to any individual component shall apply to the entire consideration? No, this is wrong. It is not a mixed supply. Tuition fee is exempt and only study material and online lectures are taxable? No, this is also not correct. They are private coaching, guys. They are providing private coaching. So it is not at all covered under educational institutions. Only school, colleges or universities comes under the educational institutions, guys. Yeah. Next one. Each component must be taxed separately even if a consolidated price is charged. No, sir, there is no breakup only. How can we charge a separate rate of tax? Not at all possible. So what is the answer for this, guys? A. A is the answer. Yes, we'll just look into what they have given. They have also given the explanation, but in exam, you need not give any explanation for multiple choice questions. You just mark it in OMR sheet, guys. That's all. Yeah, fine. But here it is given. Let us just go through it. The supply qualifies as a composite supply and the entire consideration shall be taxed at the rate applicable to the coaching services, which is the principal supply. Reason. The services and goods supplied, that is tuition, study material and access to recorded lectures, are naturally bundled and supplied in conjunction, that is together with each other in the ordinary course of business. Coaching service is the principal supply. So nowadays you guys know, so wherever, especially when you are taking CA coaching also, it will be like that itself. Sir, they will provide you the coaching along with the study material and also recorded access for few months or up to your exams. Yes, so coaching service would be a principal supply which is having a predominant element. As per section 6, as per section 8 of CGST Act 2017, a composite supply is taxed at the rate applicable to the principal supply. Hence, the entire consolidated fee is taxable at the rate applicable to the coaching activities. Yes, sir. Guys, don't decide your answer immediately after reading the first option. Once, for safety, please read all the options because sometimes all options looks like correct. Clear? So that is why please make sure that you read all 4 options. Only then you mark the right answer, guys. Oh. Whether GST is payable on the receipt of 2,50,000 received from corporate client? Yes, guys. So the date of receipt will be the time of supply. GST is payable at the time of receipt of 2,50,000. Yes. A looks like correct, but let me read it. GST is payable only at the time of issuance of invoice. No, this is not right. GST is payable at the time of supply of services. No. GST is not payable on coaching services at all. No, guys. So A is the right answer here. A is the right answer. That would be the time of supply. Okay, sir. Let us quickly look into the answer. GST is payable at the time of receipt of 2,50,000. Reason. In case of supply of services, GST shall be paid at the time of receipt of advance, unlike in case of goods. For goods, advance is not taxable. Only for services. Yes, sir. The GST in case of service is payable at the time of receipt of advance, irrespective of the provision of service or issuance of invoice, guys. Yes, sir. Next. In case of diesel purchased by Apex Learning Hub, e-way bill is required to be generated as the value is equal to 50,000? No. Not required to be generated as the consignment value is not more than 50,000? No, this is also not the right answer. Okay. Not required to be generated as the transport location was not more than 50 kilometers? No, this is also not correct. Not required to be generated at all, irrespective of the value of the goods. Yes, guys, this is the right answer. This is the right answer because diesel comes under non-taxable supply. It is outside GST. So e-way bill is not required irrespective of the value of the goods. Hope you understood. Yes, sir. So please be careful. Even B and C might look like correct for you, but please go with most appropriate answer, guys. Yes, sir. So for third one, D. Reason. Let me read the right reason directly. There is exemption from the requirement of generation of e-way bill in case of transport of specific goods like petroleum and diesel as per rule 138 sub rule 14 of CGST rules 2017. That is PhD man. If you guys remember, I have given a shortcut for petroleum products PhD man. So PhD man temporarily has been kept outside GST. So GST is not applicable on it. So whenever there is a movement of PhD man, should we generate e-way bill? Not required, sir. Including alcohol. Yeah. Alcohol anyway is permanently kept outside GST, guys. Okay. Next, fourth one. Whether Apex Learning Hub was required to obtain separate GST registration for the additional place of business in another state? Yes. No, a single registration is sufficient. No, this is right, not right. Yes, as registration is state specific under GST. Right answer. Yes, only if turnover exceeds the threshold limit. No. Okay. Yes, only if goods are supplied from the state. Guys, listen here. Yes, only if turnover exceeds the threshold limit means, guys, already they have given what is the turnover of them in the last year. Okay, now how much is that? It is 5 crore somewhere they have mentioned. Just a minute. 5 crore. And they are already registered under GST. Now they are opening a new branch in another state. Should we again check the aggregate turnover? No, because aggregate turnover, whatever 10, 20 or 40 lakh is there, that is pan India based, not state wise. So when they are opening a new branch in a new state, if their turnover has already crossed threshold limit, they have to straight away get registered, guys. They have to straight away get registered. So please be careful, because you might answer this. Yes, only if turnover exceeds the threshold limit. Their turnover has already crossed the threshold limit. So any new branch they're opening in any new state, they have to get registered straight away, guys. Okay. Yes, only if the goods are supplied from that state. Okay. Fourth one. So what would be the answer, people? Here the answer would be yes, as registration is state specific under GST. B is the answer. Okay. Reason. Let me read the reason. The registration requirement in GST is state specific. Once a person becomes liable to obtain registration, he is already liable for registration. Already he has obtained registration in one state. His turnover is already 5 crore. That means in any new state, if they start operating or if they open new branch, they have to straight away get registered, guys. Okay. Is required to take registration in each state from where he makes a taxable supply. So there also is providing some coaching services, which is a taxable supply. So he has to get registered there, guys. So the supplier has to get registered in the new state. Yes, sir. So please be careful. Student might answer C here, because we know that, sir, only if the aggregate turnover crosses the threshold limit, we should apply for registration within 30 days. Yes, but here their turnover has already crossed threshold limits. It is 5 crore now, that too in last year. So that means, should we check the threshold limit in each state? Only if they cross the threshold limit in each state, should they get registered there? No, guys. Please be careful. The 10, 20 or 40 lakh, whatever threshold limit is there, that is pan-India based. Pan-India based. But registration is state-wise. Each and every state you are operating, you have to take a separate registration. Hope you got it. Yes, sir. Fifth one. What is the last date to avail input tax credit pertaining to the current financial year? Guys, simple. 30th November of next financial year, or the actual date of filing the annual return, whichever is earlier. They have given in the question actual date of filing the annual return. Just a minute. Yeah, 15th December. So 15th December or 30th November, whichever is earlier, people. 30th November. 30th November. Got it? No? This is as per section 16, subsection 4, people. Yes. What is the last date? Fine. 15th December? No. 30th November. Yeah, because see, 15th December also we will consider, but whichever is earlier is 30th November. So we need to go with the answer 30th November. We will read other option also. 31st March of succeeding financial year they have given. The due date of furnishing the return for September of succeeding financial year. No, people. So the answer here is 30th November. Fifth one, right? Yes, we will see the answer. Yeah, reason. We'll straight away go to the reason. As per section 16, if you want me to mention the subsection also, 16 subsection 4, guys. Of CGST Act, input tax credit for a financial year can be availed up to 30th November of succeeding financial year, that is next financial year, or the date of filing the annual return, whichever is earlier. Since the annual return was filed on 15th December, the earlier date would be what, guys? 30th November. Straight away go with it. Is that clear? Yes. And assume for this question, if they had given C or D option as whichever is earlier, for example, earlier of A or B, you would have gone with that. But here in each of the option, they have given single dates mentioned. So obviously out of the options given, our answer would be D, guys. Sorry, B. 30th November. Is that clear? I repeat, assume in C or D, they would have mentioned A or B, whichever is earlier. A or B, whichever is earlier. Then you would have taken that as a correct answer. Got it? Yes. But here they are not given such options. So straight away you will go with 30th November, whichever is earlier. Yes, sir. Fine, guys. We'll move to the next question. From now on, it is a descriptive question. So sixth question, just a minute. I will see the length of the question. When question is too lengthy, guys, better read the requirement once. Then we will read the data. Yeah, let me read this. From the information given above, you are required to compute the GST payable on outward supply. Okay. GST payable under reverse charge mechanism, that is on inward supply, and input tax credit available for the month of November 2025. Okay, this is our tax period. Provide supporting explanatory notes for your conclusion wherever required. Means wherever required, give a notes for your treatment. Yes, sir. Fine, guys. And please be careful. They have just asked output tax payable, then GST payable under reverse charge mechanism, that is input tax. but only under RCM. Okay. And total input tax credit available. Did they ask how much GST has to be paid through electronic cash ledger? No, they have not asked. So we need not worry about in what order the credit has to be adjusted and all. We need not worry about it, guys. Okay. So they have asked 3 requirements. Fine. We will see. We will read the data now. Nivedita Private Limited is a manufacturer of televisions at Mohali, part of Punjab, and has a service center at Batinda, part of Punjab. The company has taken a single registration of GST, so they are operating within the state, so they have taken single registration for both. Okay, for both the branches. Fine, sir, no problem. Within the state, you can take single registration, even though you have a multiple branches. It provides the following information for the month of November 2025. Okay, outward supplies first. So we are supposed to calculate tax payable on outward supply, right? So this information will be helpful for us. Supply of televisions to Shine Electronics Limited, who is the recipient, located at Ludhiana, Punjab. Intrastate supply, 20 lakh. Okay. Raw material transferred to service centers located at Batinda branch. Okay, guys. Are they distinct persons? No. They are within the same state, 2 different branches under single registration. So they are not distinct persons. As they are not distinct person, is it a supply people? No, it is not a supply. So please be careful. It is not a supply, it is not taxable. As per Schedule 1 also, sir, even without consideration, as per Para 2 of Schedule 1, if there is a movement of goods or supply of goods between the distinct person or related person in the course or furtherance of business, it is a supply. But here, they are not distinct person, because we call a person as distinct person only when they have taken a separate registration. Here it is within the same state and they have taken single registration for both the branches. So there is no supply here, guys. Okay, sir. Next, third one. Received advance from New Electro Divine registered at Delhi for purchase of television. Goods. For goods, if advance is received, is it taxable, people? No. As per section 12, subsection 2 of CGST Act, when goods are taxable under forward charge mechanism, what is the time of supply, guys? Actual date of invoice or due date of invoice, whichever is earlier. Date of payment has been removed by way of notification. So here, even though advance is received now, is it taxable in November? No, sir. When actually supply is made and invoice is issued, the time of supply will arrive and hence taxable, people. Is that clear? So this is not taxable in November. Okay, sir. So this is not taxable. I will just write T and cancel it. Next, received advance from New Electro Divine registered at Delhi for payment of annual maintenance charges of television as New Electro Divine also undertook optional AMC of television. Guys, look at the beauty. See, this was television, so it was goods. Correct? Yes. Whereas this is AMC. So AMC means what, sir? Services. So for services, if any advance is received, is it taxable on receipt basis? Yes. As per section 13, subsection 2, this is 12 subsection 2 as it is goods, okay? For services to be supplied in future, if I receive any advance today, it is taxable on receipt basis, people. It is taxable on receipt basis. So for services, which is taxable under forward charge mechanism, as per section 13, subsection 2, if invoice is issued within the due date, the time of supply will be the date of payment or the date of invoice, whichever is earlier. Sir, what if invoice is not issued within the due date? Then date of payment is common, but the other date would be date of provision of service, whichever is earlier. So here you need not worry about the date of provision of service or date of invoice, because we have not yet issued the invoice, we have not supplied the services, but the payment is received. So obviously date of payment will be the earliest day. So is it taxable in November? Yes, guys, this is taxable in November. Please be careful. They have given one advance for goods, one advance for services. Advance received for goods to be supplied in future is not taxable on receipt basis. It will be taxable only when goods is supplied and invoice is issued. Whereas for services, receipt of advance is taxable on receipt basis. Yes, very beautifully framed. Next, inward. We are done with outward supplies. Now inward. Purchase of raw material from Electro Enterprises Private Limited registered at Ludhiana, Punjab. So that means we can claim a credit of it. And it is taxable under forward charge, guys, because if nothing is mentioned or no clue is given about RCM, so we will understand that it is taxable under FCM. Yes, sir. Next, second one. Freight paid for transportation of television to a tempo owner registered as GTA at Mohali, Punjab. Tempo owner issued invoice without any GST. Without any GST means, people, listen here. So it is a GTS service, that is transportation of goods by road. Okay, it is a tempo, no? So by road. Okay. And supplier is registered under GST, but they didn't issue invoice with GST. So they are just issuing invoice. It is not a GST invoice. Okay, sir. Now who is recipient? B. That is, I guess, Nivedita. Okay, she is registered under GST. She is registered under GST, no people? Yes, she has taken registration. So will she fall under the specified recipients? Yes. Because specified recipients will cover the person registered under GST. Yes. So now, if supplier doesn't opt to pay tax under forward charge mechanism, recipient has to pay tax under RCM, guys. Now, how will I know whether supplier has opted for forward charge or not? Guys, supplier is issuing invoice without GST. That means they are not opted for FCM. So that means, is it taxable under RCM, people? Yes, it is taxable under RCM. Please be careful. Because for GTA, first choice is always for supplier. They can choose to pay tax under forward charge mechanism. If they don't choose to pay tax under forward charge mechanism, then the specified recipient has to pay tax under reverse charge mechanism. Yes, sir. Next, third, paid rent of a factory and service center to Mr. Rakesh, who is an unregistered person. So Rakesh is a owner, whereas Nivedita is a tenant. So Nivedita Enterprises or Private Limited. Okay, Nivedita Private Limited is registered under GST. So tenant is registered and it is a commercial place. Factory means obviously commercial space. So if any property other than residential dwelling is let out to a registered tenant, is RCM applicable? Yes, guys. If supplier is unregistered but recipient is registered, RCM is applicable. So here supplier means owner. Rakesh is not registered under GST. Whereas recipient, that is Nivedita Private Limited, is registered under GST. Is RCM applicable? Yes. Please be careful. It is a factory and service center. So obviously this will fall. Any property other than residential dwelling. That is immovable property other than residential dwelling. In simple, commercial properties. Okay, sir. Factory and service center. Security services received from MS Safety and Security Services sole proprietorship firm. Supplier is sole proprietorship, not a body corporate. Registered under composition scheme at Jalandhar, Punjab. Guys, very beautifully framed. See, for a supply of security services, supplier should be any person other than body corporate. So who is the supplier? Sole proprietorship firm. Okay. So supplier is not a body corporate. Okay, sir. And recipient should be registered under GST, but recipient will not include the person who is registered only to deduct TDS as per section 51. Yes. And recipient will also not include composition supplier. Recipient will not include composition supplier. But look at the beauty. How they have tried to confuse the students here. They have told the supplier is registered under section 10 composition scheme. Will we check whether supplier is registered under composition scheme or section 9? No. Supplier should be any person other than body corporate. Okay. So here it is a sole proprietorship. It is a tick here. And security services is provided. Supply of security personnel. Okay, sir. And recipient is registered under GST. Who is that recipient? Nivedita Private Limited. They are the recipient. Are they registered under section 10? No, sir. They are not registered under section 10. Nowhere they have mentioned about it. So that means, is RCM applicable in this case? Yes, guys. Please be careful. They have told that the supplier is registered under composition scheme, but that will not have any impact on our answer. If by chance, if a recipient was registered under the composition scheme, then RCM would have not been applicable. But here that is not the case. They have told the safety security services, who is the supplier, who is not a body corporate, they have registered under composition scheme itself. That's okay. So in this case, is RCM applicable, people? Yes, sir. RCM is applicable. So they have asked you to calculate what is the tax to be paid under RCM. So 3 services are taxable under RCM, guys. Okay. Chalo, some more information. Nivedita Private Limited provided the following additional information. I am trying to explain then and there itself how much ever is possible, guys, in detail, so that you will be able to connect to it. If in case, if you require or if you want to refer to the provision book, please pause the video, go refer to the provision book. Whatever I am explaining, if you want, you can just have a look into those provisions and then continue watching, guys. Got it? Because by now I know you guys would have completed the syllabus, but still, as and when I am explaining, if you feel that, sir, this point I'm not clear, what are you explaining? I am also mentioning the sections and provisions. So if you want, please go back to the provision book or revision book, whichever you have with you, and please check what is this provision about. Then you continue watching it. Or else if you are already understanding, great, please continue. Yeah. Purchase of raw material includes the raw material of 1,20,000 which was purchased on 10th March 2025. We are in November now. But the invoices were uploaded in GSTR 1 on 18th November 2025. And such details have been communicated to the recipient in Form GSTR 2B. Okay. Guys, see, this purchase of raw material includes. So, purchase of raw material 25 lakh is there. In that, 1,20,000 worth was purchased on 10th March, but the invoices were uploaded in GSTR 1 on 18th November, it seems. Okay. We are in November month and such details have been communicated to the recipient in Form GSTR 2B. So we are the recipient for it. Nivedita is the recipient for it because she is the purchaser, right? Yes, or the company. Okay, not the individual. It is a company. So Nivedita Private Limited is the purchaser. Now just have a look into it, guys. So this is the inward supply relating to which financial year? 24-25. 24-25. So the details of this has to be given in GSTR 1. Yes. Within what time, sir? GSTR 1 in the same month. That is for March month, GSTR 1 you will file within 11th of April. You have to give it in that. If not, latest by. If there is any omission or mistake in GSTR 1, we can rectify it maximum within what time? Actual date of filing annual return or 30th November of next financial year, whichever is earlier. Correct, no people? I repeat, it is a part of returns topic. See, whenever we are making, see, actually, Nivedita Private Limited is a recipient. Let us talk from supplier point of view. Supplier, whoever has supplied this goods, should have, for them, it is outward supply. They have to give the details of that in GSTR 1 for the month of March within 11th of April. Correct? Huh? Yes, sir. Now they have missed it out. So if there is any omission or mistake in GSTR 1 which is already filed for March, you can rectify it within what time? 30th November of next financial year or actual date of filing annual return, whichever is earlier. So this is the deadline to rectify the mistakes in GSTR 1, guys. Got it? Yes. So they are giving these details. But when, sir? On 18th November 2025. Okay. Let us see what else is there. So you can see actually in the third point they have mentioned. The annual return for financial year 24-25 was filed on 30th October 2025. 30th October 2025. By when? Already time is over. Listen people. So 30th November or 30th October, whichever is earlier, 30th October. And they are giving the details of the sales. That is the supplier is giving the details of sales made in March, which is financial year 24-25 in GSTR 1 on 18th November. So check 18th November will come when? 30th November or 30th October, whichever is earlier. 30th October. So this is coming after 30th October? Yes. So already the deadline to rectify the mistakes or omissions in GSTR 1 is over, sir. So is this possible? Can the supplier pass on the credit to the recipient? No. So that means on 1,20,000, credit is not available. For Nivedita Private Limited, credit is not available. Because of the default made by the supplier, recipient is also punished. Yes, sir. Fine. We'll move to the second one. Credit note of 80,000 excluding GST was issued on 30th November 2025 to Shine Electronics Limited against invoice of 4,20,000 issued on 10th March 2024. Please be careful. 2024. So this relates to which financial year, people? 23-24. And we are issuing credit note when? In this November. Is it possible? Guys, listen here. Credit note details has to be maximum given within what time? See, credit actual invoice was issued in 23-24. Okay, sir. And for that supply, we are issuing a credit note on 30th November 2025 to Shine Electronic Limited. Okay. Against an invoice of 4,20,000 issued on 10th March. Actually, credit note, one second, Shine, right? So this is with respect to outward supply. Yes, this is with respect to outward supply to Shine. You can see here. So in the current month, we have purchased 20, sorry, this is sales. So we have sold goods worth 20 lakh to Shine Electronics Limited. Okay. Now, credit note means what? Because of this, our tax liability will come down. Tax liability will come down. So with respect to the supplies made in March, that is 10th March 2024, financial year 23-24, credit note is issued on 30th November 2025. That is during the current tax period. For how much, sir? For 80,000, excluding GST. That is 80,000 plus GST. So should we deduct this or not is a question here. Please be careful with it. Yes, sir. The annual return for financial year 24-25 was filed on 30th October 2025. Okay. This is for financial year 24-25. Please be careful. Turnover of Nivedita Private Limited for financial year 24-25, that is last year, was 160 lakh. Okay. Then rates is given here. Rate of CGST, SGST, IGST is 2.5, 2.5 and 5% in case of transporter, that is for GTA service. And in other cases, rate of CGST, SGST and IGST are 9, 9 and 18% respectively for both inward as well as outward supply of goods or services. All figures are exclusive of taxes wherever applicable, guys. So what are we supposed to calculate? Three things they have asked. GST payable on outward supply, first requirement. Then GST payable and reverse charge, second requirement. Then input tax credit available. Once we have done this, then input tax credit available also will become easy. But while calculating input tax credit available, we need to take all inward supply on which credit is available. Not only what is taxable under RCM. We should also consider what was taxable under FCM if it is an inward supply. Yes, sir. Fine, people. Let us go to the solution now. Too many adjustments are there, but interesting question. Yeah, we'll see one by one. So first, computation of GST payable on outward supply. Supply of televisions to Shine Electronics Limited, located at Ludhiana, Punjab, intrastate supply, guys. So 20 lakh is the value of supply, 9%, 9% each. Sir, what about that credit note, sir? That credit note they have not considered here. So guys, please be careful. We need to consider this also here, if at all, if it is applicable. Because credit note for the supplies made in March 2024, we are issuing credit note now with respect to 80,000 plus GST. If at all, if we have to deduct it, we need to deduct it. But can we deduct it here, sir? No, we cannot. Because time is already expired. Okay. The explanation is given here. The credit note issued on 30th November 2025, that is during the current year tax period, is invalid as valid credit note can be issued till 30th November 2024 only. And thus, GST liability will not be reduced in respect of such credit note, guys. So the maximum deadline to issue credit note is already over, or to give the details of credit note. So you can observe here. So this was issued. The invoice was issued in the financial year 23-24. So maximum deadline was 30th November of next financial year. That is 30th November 2024. 30th November 2024, guys. Yes. So the time is already over. They are now trying to issue credit note in 30th November 2025. So it's not possible. Yes. So we cannot deduct it. The second, outward supply. Transfer of raw material to service center located at Batinda branch. As they are not distinct person, it is not at all a supply, guys. So hence we will not calculate the GST. Next, advance received from New Electro Divine for purchase of television, as it is a goods. For goods, if any advance is received, it is not taxable. So hence we have not considered it. Then received advance from New Electro Divine for undertaking optional annual maintenance charges, that is AMC of television, as it is services. For services, advance is taxable. So accordingly, we have taken 50,000 into 18%, as it is an interstate supply. So explanation is given here. Let me read it once. GST on advance received for supply of services will be payable at the time of receipt of advance, since the place of supply of services made to a registered person is location of recipient. Where is it? It is in Delhi. So it would be an interstate supply, and accordingly IGST will be payable, guys. So accordingly calculated, CGST, SGST 1,80,000 each, whereas IGST would be 9,000. Correct? No? Yes. And I would suggest you, whatever they have given in the bracket, no, better give it as a separate notes, guys. Okay. Yeah, sure. Next, we'll go to RCM part, second calculation. GST payable under reverse charge mechanism. Freight paid for transportation of television to a registered tempo owner who issued invoice without any GST. Means they are not opted for forward charge. So accordingly, RCM is applicable. So RCM is applicable if GTA provides services of transportation of goods by road to a body corporate. Okay, recipient is a body corporate and as well as they are registered also. So are they covered in specified recipients? Yes. Sir, how can we tell that they are a body corporate? Because it is a company, guys. Nivedita Private Limited. So it is a body corporate as well as they are registered under GST. So they are part of specified recipients. Okay. So on 50,000, 2.5% CGST and 2.5% SGST. Then paid rent of factory and service center to Mr. Rakesh, who is the owner, who is an unregistered person. So renting of immobile property other than residential dwelling from an unregistered person to a registered person is taxable under RCM, people. So it is taxable at 9% each. Please be careful for this. They have given the separate rate for GTA service, whereas for all others it is 9 plus 9. Yes, sir. Next, security services. This was interesting. I had already explained it. Security services received from Safety and Security Services registered under composition scheme at Jalandhar, Punjab. Okay. Security services provided by any person other than body corporate. So supplier is not a body corporate. They are a sole proprietorship. To a registered person is taxable under RCM, guys. Okay. So 9% each. 25,000 into 9%. 2,250. 2,250. So on inward supply, how much is the tax payable under RCM? They have asked only this. Please be careful. So accordingly consider 14,300, 14,300 and here it would be nil. Okay. Sir, you might ask me now, why this is not considered purchase of raw material? Guys, this is taxable under FCM. It is an input tax, but taxable under FCM. In the second requirement, they have clearly asked, what is the amount of tax to be paid under RCM? So we have taken only this three. Hope you got it. Yes, sir. So later they have also asked what is the total input tax credit. Same thing will come plus this one, guys. Got it? Yes, sir. Yeah, purchase of raw material from Electro Enterprises Private Limited. So 23,80,000 is taken. That is, they have given some adjustment here. So 25 lakh is the total purchase value, but for 1,20,000, yeah, they have given here. Purchase of raw material includes the raw material of 1,20,000 which was purchased on 10th March 2025, but the invoices were uploaded in GSTR 1 on 18th November 2025 and such details have been communicated to the recipient in GSTR 2B. Guys, as time has already expired, can recipient claim the credit on it? No. So that is why we will deduct 1,20,000 from 25 lakh. Hope you understood. I already explained with respect to this. So you can also show how did we get this 23,80,000. It is 25 lakh minus 120 pass. Okay, so 23,80,000 into 9% each. And they have told you explanation with respect to that 120. ITC on purchase of raw materials of 1,20,000 is not allowed as invoice for the supply of goods uploaded after filing of annual return for financial year 24-25, which was actually on 30th October. Whereas here now they are giving the details of GSTR 1 in GSTR 1 on what date? 18th November. So already time is over. Already time is over. Okay. Even for rectification, time is already over. Yes. So remaining three is copy paste, guys, from the above. Remaining three is copy paste from here. Whatever we have calculated. 14,300. Yes. So we will get 2,28,500 CGST and SGST each. Yes. And IGST would not come. Yes, sir. So this is the total ITC available on inward supply, which is taxable under both RCM as well as FCM, people. Got it? Yes, sir. Done with this. We'll move to the next question. Come to the question number 7. Mr. Jitender, engaged in providing various services, is registered as regular taxpayer under GST. Regular taxpayer means section 9, guys. Section 9. He furnished the following information relating to various output transactions done for the financial year 24-25. Okay. Rent received for renting of land for fish farming. Okay, guys, will this fall under the agricultural activities? Yes. So exempt. Exempt. Under GST, it is exempt, guys. Okay, let me write it there itself. This is exempt. I will use different color. Yeah. This is exempt. Next one. Received price linked subsidy from Happy Days, a registered charitable trust. Okay, guys, it is a non-government subsidy and it is linked to the price. What should we do with this? We need to add it. As per section 15, subsection 2, clause E, we need to add it, guys. As it is a price linked subsidy and received from a non-government entity. If it was received from state government or central government, we will not add it. Whereas here, should we add it? Yes, we should consider it as value of supply. Next, third, provided services as national testing agency to Find Future Institute, a recognized educational institution, for conducting an entrance examination for admission to educational institute. Guys, is this exempt? Yes. Services with respect to, even for an educational institution, if it is an inward supply, with respect to conduct of entrance examination, if any services are provided to an educational institution, it is exempt. So it is exempt. Next, provided services by way of preconditioning, pre-cooling, ripening and waxing of fruits. The essential characteristics of fruits remain same. Even this is exempt. Okay, sir. Next, providing rooms having room charges 4,500 per day to a person receiving the healthcare services from his establishment healthcare clinic. Guys, healthcare includes accommodation services also, provided the room charges is within 5,000 per day per room. And here it is 4,500. Yes, sir. So is it exempt? Yes. Accommodation services is exempt. But if it is for ICU or NICU and all, there is no threshold limit of 5,000. Whereas for normal rooms and all, there is a threshold limit of 5,000. And here it is within 5,000, so it is fully exempt. You are required to compute the amount of taxable supply of Mr. Jitender for financial year 24-25, showing each item separately. All amounts given above are exclusive of taxes wherever applicable. Correct legal reasoning of each item should form part of your answer. Okay, wherever required, give notes. So only 2 lakh is taxable. Rest all is exempt, people. Only 2 lakh is taxable here. Yeah, you can see this is exempt. 2 lakh is taxable as it is a non-government subsidy. Then this is exempt. So let me just read it. Services provided by National Testing Agency to conduct of entrance examination for admission to an educational institution. Even though it is an inward supply for educational institution, it is exempt, people. So no tax. Then this preconditioning, pre-cooling, prepening or waxing of fruits, it is exempt. Clearly it is given in one of the entry, so it is exempt. Then providing rooms also, as it is within 5,000, it is exempt. So total taxable value is only 2 lakh. That subsidy part, that's all, people. Simple question, easy question. Yeah. Let us move to question number 8 here. Yes. Question number 8. Taxability, examine the taxability of supplies in the following independent cases in terms of relevant provisions of CGST Act 2017. Brief reason should form part of your answer. Okay. Services of health insurance business provided by Health and Bless Insurance Company to Mr. Krish Kinare and his family. Guys, this is the recent amendment actually. So I have covered this even in amendment video. Please be careful. If health insurance services are provided as a group, it is not exempt. But here, if it is provided as a family group, is it exempt, sir? Yes, it is exempt. So here, actual insured is whom? Krish Kinare and his family. Sir, is health insurance premium exempt from GST? Yes, guys, it is exempt. Please be careful. It is a new entry added. Yes, I have covered this in the amendment video. Yes. Services of health insurance business provided by the insurer, that is insurance company, to the insured, who is the person who has taken the policy, where the insured is not a group or exempt from GST. But for this, there is an exception. Further, this exemption is applicable to a contract of insurance where the insured is an individual, okay, or an individual and family of the said individual. Means family can be a group. But sir, can employer take the health insurance policy on his employees as a group? Yes, he can take, but GST is not exempt on it. So if employer take for employees as a group, it will be taxable. Whereas if it is taken on the family group, it is exempt. Okay. And what is family as per this, sir? Whoever has been mentioned as part of family as per the contract of insurance, everyone would be covered, guys. Okay. Family includes all individual insured as family in the contract of insurance. So in simple, in the given case, is it exempt? Yes, so. Thus, services provided by Health Plus Insurance Company to Krish Kinare, that is an individual, and his family is exempt. is exempt under GST, sir. Okay. Yes. Fine. We'll move forward. Second one. A1 hotels provided supply of accommodation services having value of supply equal to 20,000 rupees per month to a MBBS student, Mr. Pranav Sachdev Sachdeva for continuous period of 180 days, more than 90 days, and value is 20,000 exactly. Is it exempt, people? Yes, it is exempt. Yes, it is exempt as it is more than 90 days and per month they are charging exactly 20,000. Less than or equal to 20,000 means it is exempt. Yes, sir. See, exactly 20,000 they have given here. Supply of accommodation services have value of supply less than or equal to 20,000. Okay. Per person per month, provided that the accommodation service is supplied for a minimum continuous period of how much? 90 days. Is exempt from GST. Thus, supply of accommodation services provided by A1 hotels having value of supply equal to 20,000 rupees exactly. Less than or equal to 20,000 is okay, guys. Okay. Sir, what if it is 20,000 1 rupee? Taxable. Full 20,000 1 rupee would be taxable. Yes. Per month to a MBBS student, Mr. Pranav Sachdeva for a continuous period of 180 days is exempt, guys. Is exempt from GST. Yes. 180 days. So more than 90 days. Okay, sir. Next, ninth one. Determine the time of supply in case of following transactions on individual basis by briefly stating the relevant provisions. Miss Janvi Event Management, a registered firm. Okay, they are registered. Guys, whenever they use the word in GST registered, somewhere it might play a role. Please be careful with it. Is engaged in the business of event management services. Okay. Guys, we are supposed to decide time of supply and here it is services. So which section should we apply? Section 13. Section 13. Mr. Jashbir hired Janvi Event Management on 1st February 2025 to organize a marriage anniversary function to be held on 14th February 2025. Ho ho! Special day. Yes. Jashbir. Happy man. For a total consideration of 3 lakh. Okay. So event will happen on 14th February, guys. So supply of services is rendered on what day? 14th February. Hope you guys got it. Yes. Jaspir paid 25,000 as a booking amount on 4th February advance. If advance is received for the services, is it taxable on receipt basis? Yes. Janvi Event Management issued a bill of 3 lakh on 12th March 2025. So event happened on 14th February, people. Event happened on 14th February. So supply of services on 14th February. Whereas invoice is issued at 12th March. So is it issued within 30 days? Is it issued within 30 days? Yes. So in case of supply of services, which is taxable under forward charge mechanism, if invoice is issued within 30 days from the date of supply of services, what is the time of supply? Date of invoice or the date of payment, whichever is earlier. And here there will be 2 dates of payment. 25,000 is 4th February as it is advanced. So 25,000 for 25,000, what is the time of supply? 4th February only. Okay. And Jaspir paid balance amount of 2,75,000 on 20th March. Okay, guys, there will be 2 different time of supply here. For 25,000, as it is an advance, the time of supply will be the date of receiving advance, 4th February itself. Okay. Whereas for remaining 2,75,000, it is the date of invoice or the date of payment, whichever is earlier, date of invoice, 12th March. As invoice is issued within the due date, we need to take date of invoice or date of payment, whichever is earlier, people, 12th March. So there will be 2 different time of supply here. For 25,000, 4th February, whereas for 2,75,000, 12th March, guys. Hope you got it. Yes, we will read it. Sub question 1 here. The time of supply for services is the date of, better mention the section, it is section 13. So you can start your answer like this. As per section 13 of CGST Act, the time for supply of services is the date of issue of invoice if the same is issued within 30 days from the date of supply. In the given case, it is issued within 30 days. Or the date of receipt of payment, whichever is earlier. In the given case, the time of supply for receipt of booking amount of 25,000 is the date of receipt of booking, that is 4th February, as the date of receipt of payment is earlier than the date of invoice. Okay, because date of invoice comes in March. Okay. The time of supply for 2,75,000 is the date of issue of invoice, that is 12th March 2025, as the invoice is issued within 30 days of supply of services. And the date of issue of invoice is earlier than the date of payment, guys. Okay, so there will be two different time of supply here. So time of supply is 4th February for 25,000 and 12th March 2025 for balance amount of 2,75,000, guys. Hope you got it. Yes. Next. Mr. Shravan Kumar, a registered person, undertook the service of transportation of goods from Longway Tempo Services, a goods transportation agency. Guys, again it is a service. So if we are deciding the time of supply, it will be as per which section? 13. Longway Tempo Services, a goods transportation agency, a registered person. Okay. Supplier is also registered, recipient is also registered, guys. Okay. On 1st January 2025 to transport goods from Gurgaon to Faridabad. Okay, Haryana. Longway Tempo Services issued an invoice for 30,000 on 2nd January 2025. Okay. So Longway is the supplier. Okay. So they are issuing the invoice for 30,000 on 2nd January because they are registered. Please be careful. Supplier is registered, so they are issuing the invoice on 2nd January 2025. Mr. Shravan Kumar issued a check of 30,000 on 18th February 2025 and entered in the books of accounts on same day. But the check was debited from the bank on 19th February 2025. Determine the time of supply for Shravan Kumar for transportation of services received by him. Guys, here supplier is also registered, recipient is also registered. So recipient will fall under one of the specified recipient. Yes. So, sir, should we check forward charge mechanism or reverse charge mechanism? First choice is always for the supplier to pay tax under forward charge mechanism. If they don't pay tax under the forward charge mechanism, then recipient being a specified recipient has to pay tax under RCM, guys. But question is silent about who is paying tax under which mechanism. So what can we consider it, sir? You can answer from both the point of view, but you might not have so much of time in the exam, guys. So we will just see how they have answered. I guess they would have answered under RCM. Oh, oh. So what you guys also can consider, one clue they have given you that you can apply RCM is they have given the payment details and all. They have given payment details from recipient point of view on what date it was debited and all. Guys, if I apply when services is taxable under RCM, we need to apply section 13 subsection 3. Correct? Yes. So what is the time of supply? If invoice is issued by the supplier, here invoice is issued by the supplier because supplier is registered. Please be careful. They are registered. So when supplier is registered, they will issue invoice. Even though they are not paying tax under forward charge mechanism, still they will issue invoice. So what are we supposed to take as time of supply? Date of payment or 61st day from the date of issue of invoice. That is date immediately following 60 days from the date of invoice, whichever is earlier. So clause C will not at all come here because clause C will come only in case of self-invoicing by the recipient, and self-invoicing is applicable only when supplier is not registered, and here supplier is registered, so self-invoicing will not come, people. Hope you got it. Hope you got it. I will just show you one second. I will better show it from the revision book. Just a minute. This is interesting. That is why I'll just show it once again. Time of supply for services, right? Yes. So for time of supply of services, which is taxable under RCM, clause A, B, whichever is earlier, that is when supplier is registered and he is issuing invoice. If supplier is not registered and RCM is applicable, that means recipient has to do self-invoicing. In that case, we are supposed to take clause A or C, whichever is earlier. Correct? Yes, but in the given case, C will not at all come. So we are supposed to take A or B, whichever is earlier. And for A, they have given some clue. What is it? Please pay attention. Please pay attention. Mr. Shravan Kumar issued a check of 30,000 on 18th February and entered in the books of accounts. So when did he enter the payment in his books of accounts? 18th February. But the check was debited from bank on 19th February. So 18th February or 19th February, whichever is earlier, people. Whichever is earlier. So from recipient point of view, what is the date of payment means? The date of debit in his bank account or the date on which he has entered the payment in his books of account, which is in the given case 18th February or 19th February, whichever is earlier, 18th February. Date of payment is 18th February. And invoice is issued on what day? 2nd January. Count 61 days from there. 61 days from 2nd January, guys. Okay. It will fall somewhere in March. It will fall somewhere in March. So, whichever is earlier is 18th February only. 18th February itself. Oh, let us see. What is the solution they have given? Supply of services by GTA in respect of transportation of goods by road to any person registered under CGST or GST. You can just mention GST is taxable and reverse charge mechanism. Okay. And the time of supply for services under RCM is the earliest of the following dates. So you can also mention the time of supply when the invoice is issued by the supplier. Okay, this point we need not even mention this. Okay, because we clearly know that supplier is registered, so he is issuing the invoice. We need not even mention about this point, but still, if you write like this, also nothing wrong. So the time of supply for services under RCM is earliest of the following dates. This is as per which section, people? Better quote the section if you know it. 13 subsection 3. Date of payment or date immediately after 60 days from the date of issue of invoice by the supplier in case where the invoice is required to be invoice is required to be issued by the supplier. Okay. Or the last one, date of issue of invoice by the recipient in case where invoice is to be issued by the recipient. So this point is not at all relevant for our scenario. So date of payment is 18th February, people. So that is 18th or 19th, whichever is earlier. And 61st day from the date of invoice. So date of invoice is 2nd January, right? Yes. How many days in January, people? 31. So you can do 31 minus 2. So how many days in January? 29. And February 28. Okay, 2025 will have 28 days. It is not a leap year. So we will get totally 57 days. But how much we require? 61 days. Correct. A date immediately following 60 days from the date of invoice means 61st day. Okay. So 61 minus 57 you do, we will get 4. We will get 4. So 61st day is 4th March, guys. So this date would be 4th March. So 18th February or 4th March, whichever is earlier, 18th February. Okay. So even with respect to the date of payment, please explain because they have given two different dates in the question. Date of payment refers to the date on which the payment is recorded in the books of accounts of the recipient of service or the date on which the payment is debited from the recipient's bank account, whichever is earlier. So this is the actual clue given in the question, guys, to decide that, sir, RCM is applicable and recipient is paid tax. Okay. Because they have given in recipient's book when the payment entry is made and when the bank account is debited. So that's the only clue which is given here. Okay, sir. Thus, the date of payment is 18th February. So the time of supply will be 18th February. But I would suggest you 2024, 2025 this is. Okay, yeah. And just give a note telling it is considered that the supplier has not opted to pay tax under FCM, guys. Okay, you just give a note for it. That is more safety thing because in the question clearly straightforward they have not mentioned that RCM is applicable. Obviously, for GTA, if supplier is registered, they will always have an option to pay tax under FCM. First choice is always for that. If they don't choose to pay tax under FCM, then only we will go and pay tax under RCM if recipient is a specified recipient. Got it? So better to give a note telling that it is assumed that or it is considered that supplier has not opted to pay tax under forward charge mechanism. Hence, the GTA service is taxable under RCM. Got it? Yes, sir. Fine, people. We'll move forward. Last question, question number 10. Alpha distributors registered in Maharashtra supplies goods to beta retailers registered in Gujarat, outside the state, guys. Due to urgency, part A of e-way bill is furnished by beta retailers. That means recipient. Can recipient give the details? In part A, what details will be given, people? Goods details. Whereas in part B, vehicle details. Yes. So can details in part A be given by the recipient? Yes, it can be. Is furnished by beta retailers on 5th March at 2 p.m. Okay. The goods are delivered on 7th March at 10 a.m. The details of the e-way bill are made available to Alpha distributors, that is supplier, on the common portal immediately upon generation. Immediately upon generation. Okay. Alpha distributors does not communicate acceptance or rejection of consignment. Okay. Alpha, please be careful, they are suppliers. Okay. Examine to whom, where the details of e-way bill made available under the relevant provisions of the e-way bill. Guys, when recipient has updated the part A details, so it will be made available to whom? Suppliers. Obviously. Okay, sir. What is the last date and time for communication of acceptance or rejection? That is, the supplier has to give his acceptance or rejection within a time provided. Last one. When will deemed acceptance apply? Yes. Chalo. See how they have picked the question from e-way bill. Least targeted area. Yeah. Part A of the e-way bill is furnished by beta retailers recipient on 5th March at 2 p.m. Okay. First requirement. The details of e-way bill generated shall be made available on the common portal to the supplier. If registered, where the information in Part A has been furnished by whom? Recipient or transporter. So if Part A details is provided by recipient or transporter, then the details will be furnished to whom, guys? The e-way bill whatever is generated shall be made available to whom? Supplier. Yes. So in the given case also, Part A details has been furnished by whom? Recipient. So will it be made available to the supplier? Yes, if he is registered. And is he registered? Yeah, they are registered. So it will be made available. Next, recipient if registered, where the information in Part A has been furnished by supplier or transporter. In the given case, it is not relevant, but if Part A details is given by supplier or transporter, will that information be available to the recipient? Yes, it will be made available to the recipient if he is registered. Okay. Thus, in the given case, Part A is being furnished by the recipient. The details of the e-way bill will be made available to the supplier as they are registered. Here they are given if registered, but actually they are registered. Since Alpha Distributor is the registered supplier, the details were made available to Alpha Distributors on what time? On 5th March at 2 p.m. That is the time when Part A details has been given by the recipient, guys. Got it? Yes. Next, second requirement. The acceptance or rejection of the e-way bill must be communicated within what time? 72 hours of the details being made available, that is 8th March on or before 2 p.m. Okay, sir, how did they calculate 8th March? Guys, 72 hours from when? From 5th March 2 p.m. So take it as how many days? 3 days. So it would be 8th March 2 p.m. So within that time, it has to be communicated. Yes, sir. Or the time of delivery of the goods, which is 7th March 10 a.m. So goods have been delivered within what time? 7th March 10 a.m. So it would be 8th March 2 p.m. or 7th March 10 a.m. whichever is earlier. 7th March 10 a.m. guys. Since delivery of goods occurred earlier, the last date and time for communication of acceptance or rejection of consignment covered by the e-way bill would be 7th March at 10 p.m. Sorry, 10 a.m. 10 a.m. So who has to give this acceptance? Supplier. Okay, sir. The last one. In case the person to whom the information in Part A is made available does not communicate his acceptance or rejection within the specified time. What is the time? 7th March 10 a.m. It shall be deemed that he has accepted the said details. So actually, in the given case, the supplier, Alpha Distributor, does not communicate acceptance or rejections of the consignment. So whichever is earlier time here is what, people? 7th March at 10 a.m. So even within that time, if he has neither communicated anything, acceptance or rejection, he has not communicated anything, that means it is a deemed acceptance, guys. Since Alpha Distributor did not communicate acceptance or rejection of consignment covered by the e-way bill before 7th March 10 a.m., the e-way bill details are deemed to have been accepted by whom? By supplier at 7th March 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Got it? Yes, guys. So this is all about the indirect tax part of May 2026 RTP as released by ICAI.